All right, so we're just kind of watching the SPY bounce here off of the deep low. Really hard, heavy sell-off this morning, just like yesterday. Now we're getting discussions about some of the countries backing off on tariffs. We'll see what happens. Nike putting in a bullish engulfing bar right now for the day. You think the market's going to bounce, you can, the SPY calls are pretty expensive. You can actually put a debit spread on it. As anyways, I was saying, the SPY, you can do debit spreads on it if you think we're going to bounce, but you don't want to pay too much for the options. They're pretty expensive. The on the SPY right now, the 521 calls, those are out of the money right now. They're $4 a contract. Okay, a few questions here. Ali is still in CELH. Yeah, that's been a good one. You've been talking about this for a week. It's kind of pulled back and do a PBO here, but it's bouncing up today nicely, up at 1.36% in a down market. DG is in the cap. Thank you. Yep, sure is. I got 102.47 for the next level of resistance on DG here. And but this, the gap is pretty big. The gap goes up a lot further than that, but there are some horizontal resistance levels in there. What was the news guy going on about? All good things for the USA. Oh, that was a tweet from Trump, tweeting out I don't know, something good about the House. He wants Powell to cut interest rates. No, it was just a tweet, or an X or whatever it is. Doug, using the SPY super system, would you consider buying a call in the down market even though the setup was good? Yeah, it is a lower probability, but this is a pretty decent setup for a long here. This is a pretty decent setup for a long. And there's a lot of talk coming out of the administration about tariff deals and all that kind, anything to basically try to boost the market at this point. It's down so much, so that there's going to be some. They'll try to pop the market up with some talk. Whether the deals are going to happen or do happen or are happening, I don't know. But the market is going to like talk like that. So This is not a bad place for a long here. This feel like capitulation? Maybe don't make that mistake. No. It might be a capitulation for today. This is not a capitulation for the market. No. All right, just kind of watching. The candles are getting pretty small here. Big, huge pull down. We're likely to see, as I said this morning, when you get 2 days in a row like this, big pull downs, you're likely to see a relief rally. We're getting a relief rally here. We dropped down right to the algo line. Right now, 519.42 is the support line that we went through. So we're just above that right now. Again, I'm expecting, like I said, I expected there's going to be some sort of a relief rally. This looks like the beginning of a little bit of a relief rally here. Remember, in bear markets with big drops, you can get some pretty violent moves up as well. So you just have to be careful. I wouldn't be doing anything short right now. I'd be waiting to see what this does. And like I said, if you want to do if you think we're going to get a bounce in the market, you can do a SPY call debit spread to reduce some of your risk and also to mitigate the high premiums on the options right now. All right, about 11:25 right now. Market trying to bounce after the heavy sell-off.
Being posted now in regards to Fed Chair Powell speaking, says Trump tariffs bigger than expected, risking higher inflation, slower growth. Too soon to say what will be the appropriate path for monetary policy. Says possible tariffs could have a persistent inflation impact. Members are posting a link.
So Powell's talking now, saying that the tariffs could have a significant impact on higher inflation. We're gonna have dueling talk today about this, I'm sure. So here comes the market coming back down again.
Price hikes don't lead to ongoing inflation.
So Powell said they're just going to wait, decide what to do. They don't know what they're going to do now.
Fed's Powell says progress towards 2% inflation goal has slowed.
So that's putting a little bit of a damper on the market.
Members posted in the news desk is a link to Fed Chair Powell's speech.
SPY down below the VWAP now. Let's see if we get a bounce from here. MSTU still just trading at $5. It's the MSTR is not doing anything today.
Members being posted in
Really,
the news
really
desk is another link from that speech for watching Powell live.
All right, just gonna look around for some stocks here. It's about 11, coming up on 11:30. Market with a big pullback today. Trying to make a bounce here. It's bounced significantly off the algo line. SPY is still down 3.5% for the day. Triple Q's down 3.5, a little more than 3.5%, and IWM down almost 4%. But they were off their lows. Yeah, Doug, you happy you weren't in the SPY? Yeah, it was a good long setup, but we're getting a lot of talk here now. We get Powell talking. You got administration officials tweeting out stuff. Everybody's putting out talk. Of course, the administration is trying to boost the market a little bit, and Powell's talking about what's going on with inflation and how tariffs might hurt it. So this is all of this news is just driving the market up and down, up and down. So it's a very tentative area right now to be in. I just said that this was a decent setup because it was coming off along here. Did I take it? No, I didn't take it at all. This is again turning into a fairly large red candle. Momentum's still hanging in there green, but very, very treacherous trading right here. And it's hard to do straddles and strangles because the implied volatility on the option prices is really high right now. The premiums are very, very high, and the spreads are really wide. T2104 continuing bearish, not really indicating any bounce. It's got a little bit of a bounce, but very small. Still in a pretty steady downtrend right now. Again, really dangerous time right now in the market because of, you get conflicting report. You get the administration putting out information on deals trying to be made with other countries on the tariffs, which is very bullish, and then you get Powell saying the tariffs are likely going to hurt inflation, which is bearish. So they're just going back and forth. So right now it's all news driven. And not you really want to be anything when it's going to get driven by the news like that. One of those stocks we looked at the other day, which was a Momo stock. It's AREB right here, breaking out. Big volume. It's halted. AREB halted right here. It's buying back below the VWAP here right now. The market's still drifting down. Again, this was pretty much the algo line right down here, just a little bit below 510, and We'll see if we head back down there again. That's the low of the day. Made a nice little bounce here, and now it's coming back again. Brian, how about short opportunities in the IWM, which tends to be more sensitive to macroeconomics? Yeah, the IWM is, and individual stocks in the IWM are pretty good too. And the IWM, of course, has been weaker than the rest of the market all along. It bounced pretty nicely here,
Commentary
um,
continues
but
on
it's still
Powell.
down almost 5% today
Powell
on the
tariffs were higher
IWM.
than almost all
But
forecasts
it's
predicted.
difficult
Still don't know where it will
to
close
short
the
right now.
last
We're so far away from
because
the 8
prices
exponential
don't
moving
go
average.
down.
We're
Even
very
though
extended
the
on
market
the downside
might not
on all
defend
the
it now.
indexes right now. So is it, you know, can it keep going? Sure, it can always keep going. But we are getting pretty extended, and there's likely to be some sort of a bounce. And I would much prefer to wait for a bounce and up to a resistance level, and then roll back over again.
The White House's new list of top drug policy priorities under Trump admin. This is on marijuana MSOI.
But yeah, Brian, that's a good thought on the IWM. Yeah, they are definitely. Then that index has been weaker than the others as well. And you know, trading the IWM on the SPY super system is also nothing wrong with that. They I trade quite often, and it's not quite as volatile as far as it doesn't move as much generally in a short period of time like the Qs do. So you can trade it that way. But again, you see it's setting up short here right now, just going below the VWAP. The SPY already has been down below the VWAP.
Continued Powell commentary. A good time to take a step back and let things clarify. Too soon to say what monetary policy response should be.
Very undecided market right now. Very undecided. Move down, big gap down, big move down, and then bounce back up. Got above the VWAP briefly, came right back down again. Again, Powell speaking. Uh, so there's a lot of news coming out as far as in discussions on the tariffs, what impacts are going to be, whether they're going to make deals. All this stuff is going to keep coming out all day. There'll be talk over the weekend. The market is going to be extremely volatile here. Option premiums are jacked up to the sky because they don't know what's going to happen. So you've got to be very careful here. If you can find a decent straddle to strangle, but that's going to be tough today. I'm going to be looking for a couple of lottos later in the day to try to take. I had a good one on Apache today. Get in at $21 a contract, get out at $30 a contract. But right now I'm just watching the market. Again, Powell's still speaking, so that's impacting the market. Very undecided here, market. Very, very undecided. SPY trying to bounce again here. This is just really a lot of indecision here right now. ARA Reb is back open again now. It's got support at 845 and resistance at 1222. Went right to resistance here at 1227. Pretty large volume today though. Now it's coming in. It was kind of low this morning. Yesterday it traded 5.6 million. Today it's traded so far 39.3 million. Again, this is a low float, high volume stock, and they're very volatile, so you just have to be careful.
Comments by Berkshire Hathaway says there are reports currently circulating on social media, including Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok, regarding comments allegedly made by Warren E. Buffett. All such reports are false.
And I traded that AREB that I mentioned as far as a trade for momentum, low float, high volume. Really a nice move in AREB here from here. I get in about 11,439 after that halt, and I am out now.
Commentary out by Goldman Sachs says hedge funds on Thursday sold global equities on a net basis at largest one-day amount since 2010.
Well, after 12, again, this has been another exciting morning. 2 days in a row. Market's still down pretty hefty. Again, you have to be prepared for significant bounces when you have market comes down this fast 2 days in a row. So just be cautious. Right now, we're just kind of getting a lot of indecision in the market, as you can see, just moving sideways, and we're subject to any kind of news releases that comes out of the administration or something else that Jay Powell says. All this stuff is going to impact the market because the algos have been trading off of that stuff, and a lot of people are looking for a reason to try to buy some stuff at this point. So we'll see what happens. But again, just be very, very cautious. Trade small, and again, try to hedge any risk you've got by doing debit spreads if you decide you want to go long or even go short, because the premiums are very high right now. I'll be looking for a few lottos this afternoon. I had a beautiful lotto on SD Lotto overnight. I get in at $88 a contract, get out at $400 a contract this morning, and then I did today. I mentioned I did one on Apache. I can't post them; they're much too quick. But I took Apache and had a nice down move in Apache, and went from 21 cents to $21 a contract, out at $30 a contract, and that's about it for right now. I did trade AREB. I traded that again here this morning. I'm out of it already. I get out a little too early apparently, so it's still going up, but a very good momentum stock that I talked about. High volume, low float, and relatively low price. It's getting a little more expensive now, but that was a nice trade. All right, Powell's done speaking now, so maybe we'll see the market move up a little bit here. Basically, he indicated that there's not going to be he didn't say this, but he indicated there's not going to be a rate cut in May, during the May meeting. He said they can be patient, which kind of means to me that he's not going to raise rates, not going to lower rates again this next time. Very flat market right now after this big drop down. Trying to do a bounce, which is really, really flat right now. Okay, so you got any questions? Getting ready to eat lunch here pretty soon. Starting to get hungry. Shy? Yeah. Crocs, quite the engulfer. Yeah, well, this is news that's creating these moves in Crocs and Nike, and they have huge engulfing bars today. Again, they sold off massively yesterday, and again this morning, and now they're putting in bullish engulfing bars. But again, it's off of news, and they're beat down really big time. I mean, Nike is down to this morning's low on Nike was 52.50, and I don't know if that's an all-time low or not, but no, it's not an all-time low, but it's down. It's You have to go all the way back to let's see here, about 2016 to get that low. I'm not sure exactly. It doesn't really matter, but it's really low. Um, Arthur, the other day, the phone for Sergio was there. Please post again at the bottom. Oh, sure. Right there. Very flat market now. Very flat. Just chopping sideways. If you look at yesterday, you see how we had the gap down. You see how it was drifting down, but it was pretty flat. And then we had those moves during the afternoon, but it ended pretty badly with another gap down here this morning, and drift down, and now we're just chopping. This is all just chop right here. Again, we're staying below the VWAP on the SPY. I have no intention of trying to trade SPY super systems unless I get some sort of an indication of a trend. There isn't one here right now. And again, I'm out of AREB. I told you about that one. That's a Momo stock. This thing is still going up, but I'm out of it. I get out of it I think in the I forget 14s, something's in the 14s. Yeah, I got out of it in the 12s actually. But even that was pretty good. It was a pretty good profit for me. Still going though. It's getting closer to the 50-day moving average now, so it's right up against it. Right. I'm gonna look around here for stocks, but I'm not anxious to do much of anything at the moment. Is Wolf bouncing up a little bit? Right. MSTU, we're going to have to make a decision after lunch what we're going to do with this thing. It's trading at 490. It's basically trading right at what we got it at yesterday. It's trading at about 35 cents right now, which we're down about 50%, a little less on that. Is Riot coming back down? SPY coming in. So again, watch the SPY to see if we break the day's low or not. That's to me that's what matters right now. Whether we get down past that low of today on the SPY. It's right at the algo line. Right now the low in the SPY today is 510.05. 510.05. The algo I've got is right around 510. Maybe yeah, 510.50 or something like that. So came very close to it. So we'll see if we continue down. Gonna get a lunch here in just a little bit. Right now it's about 12:24. Market's still coming in. One to keep an eye on it for anybody, any Momo type traders here. ALDX, JJ just pointed this out. ALDX, it's halted right now, 188. It had a big volume spike here on the 5-minute chart. And the daily chart is pretty strong volume today. 7.4 million, traded 22 million yesterday. It's on a big gap down on ALDX. Getting some buying here right now. Trading at $1.88, but halted at the moment. Whoop, not halted now. There it goes. So I'm in ALDX right now. We'll see where it goes. Looked like it was out of the halt, but doesn't look like it's trading right now. Might be thin. I don't know. The volume's pretty strong in this thing. These previous candle had 284,000 shares. Only 76,000 in this year. I'm in it at $1.88. ALDX. I'm in it at $1.88. This is a Momo trade. Again, this is people in the room asked me about letting you know about these, so I'm letting you know about these. But these are not something that, if you're not experienced, it's not something you want to trade because they can be really, really violent with these big volumes. They can whip around quite a lot. I mean, this is a pretty cheap one, but it's got basically got support right now at about let me see, pretty far down. I would say yesterday's high was probably support here, which is 178. But it's in a big gap. All right, here's the chart on it right here. This is a huge gap fill here. But this is this is off of news, so you can see this sell-off on this thing. It's probably an FDA announcement of some sort. I don't know how much we're going to push up into here, but we are getting some decent volume here today. So I'll be prudent in this and probably take profits way sooner than I should, but I don't mind. Doesn't exactly have the as much of a difference in the float and the volume that I'd like to see, but it's enough. It's enough. It's got a it's got 7.9 million shares today. It has a float of about 44 million. It's a little higher than what I usually like to take, but the fact that it's going into a gap is kind of nice. So we'll see if it continues up or not. And this is getting some pretty good volume on this candle as well. Other than that, watching the market, it's drifting back down again. Again, I'm not really going to do anything until we break through the low. I mean, this is a decent SPY super system setup, but you're in a choppy trend right here. We get questions here out in YouTube. Hey, Tritomytis, how are you? Do I re-enter at some point AREB, AREB? The problem with AREB right now is it's too far away for me, and it's gotten through the 50-day moving averages. It's got room to the 100-day, but I'm not going to chase it up here. It's too hard. I traded it already today, and I'm out of it. Took my profits, and I'm done with it for right now. I'm not going to try to chase it up. I mean, you could if you could get in here, you could put a stop at the 50 if it gets below the 50, which is 1701. But that's a buck, almost a $1.50 drop. So right now I'm in ALDX. ALDX. It's ALDX right here. I'm in this one on a bounce. It's good volume, um, breaking out. It's in a big gap. It doesn't have the difference between float and volume that I'd like to see, but it's big enough, and it's in a gap. So I'm gonna trade it. I get it at $1.88. So I don't. This is, again, I'm not recommending these momentum trades for people to trade. But I had some folks ask me about these, so I purposely did that to bring them up. But I would not recommend people trade them, especially if you're an inexperienced trader. They're very volatile. They can go against you really, really quickly. SPY coming down again. It hasn't got down to the low yet. We'll see where it goes. Nike on that big pop is starting to compress here now, along with the rest of these stocks that bounced up. Restoration Hardware, a lot of these did that again. MSTU, I'm going to watch it till after lunch, see if we can get any kind of a move in this thing, but basically it's flat as a pancake here. Again, there's ALDX. I'm pulling back down a little bit right here. And I'm going to get something to eat. Put the SPY up over here. Again, I'm still in ALDX. Watching the SPY drift down. Again, I'm watching to see if it breaks through the low. That would be a significant move. SPY right now down 4.7%. 4.7% on the SPY. Q's down 5% today. Russell down 5.5% today. These are major, major moves, and especially after a day like yesterday. So we'll see if we break through the low here. The bounce has not been able to get any kind of steam. The T2104 has been bearish all day long yesterday and all day long today. Here's the T2104 for the last 2 days. Right? Here's yesterday. Here's today. Doesn't get much more bearish than that. There's a little pop in the SPY. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and shut down the YouTube feed. Thanks very much. Would I exit ALDX close below support at 178? I would. Yeah, you got to keep these things fairly tight on these Momo trades. You know, you need to have a game plan for where you're going to get out of these. 178 is basically yesterday's high. So you kind of want to see it stay above that 178 level, which it's pretty close to right now. I mean, you can give it a little bit of play, but it's a pretty good candle today to the upside. But again, the stock is very bearish on the daily chart, so remember that. All right, going to go ahead and trade a minus. Thanks very much. I hope that helps a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and shut down the YouTube feed so I can get some lunch. Everybody have a great weekend for the YouTube people, and I will see everybody back here on Monday.